Adored gospel music legend Bill Gaither, who has inspired millions with his uplifting songs and charismatic presence, is currently facing a heartbreaking personal struggle. His health has taken a devastating turn, and his loved ones are preparing for the unexpected as Bill fights for every moment. His family and friends say a silent goodbye, reflecting on the incredible legacy he leaves behind. Stay with us as we take a glimpse into the inner world of Bill Gaither in this touching journey of love, resilience, and the impact of a life well lived. The rumors surrounding Bill Gaither's retirement in recent months have been swirling. Speculation has been buzzing around Bill Gaither's potential retirement, and the gospel music world has been considering the end of an era as one of the most iconic figures in Christian music. Bill Gaither's absence from the stage has raised concerns among his loyal fans and followers. The legendary gospel artist, known for his role in the Gaither vocal band and his influential impact on the world of Christian music, has become a household name. His music, filled with deep spiritual messages and powerful lyrics, has resonated with millions of people over the decades. However, over the past few years, fans and industry insiders alike have noticed a shift in Gaither's public presence. He has been appearing less frequently at live events, and his presence on television and at concerts has dwindled. This shift has led to whispers that Gaither might be preparing to retire. Rumors began circulating that Gaither's health might be declining, which could explain his sudden absence from the public eye. For someone who has spent decades in the spotlight, constantly traveling and performing, it's no surprise that age might begin to catch up with him. Speculation grew as fans began to notice that the normally vibrant and energetic Gaither was becoming less visible in the public arena. There were even reports that Gaither's close associates had been discussing a transition plan for the ministry, preparing for a time when he might step away. With his age and health concerns, many wondered if this was the beginning of the end for the legendary musician's career. As these rumors gained momentum, some began to speculate whether Gaither's reduced visibility meant that his long-running Gaither vocal band would soon be without its central figure. For years, Bill Gaither had been the driving force behind the ministry, shaping its direction and ensuring that its music reached millions. The thought of a future without him was difficult for many fans to imagine, especially considering the deep emotional connection they had with Gaither's music and message. Despite this, there were also those who believed that Gaither's decision to step back was more about passing the baton to the next generation of artists in the ministry. In a fictional scenario that captivated the hearts of fans around the world, Bill Gaither steps onto the stage for what would become one of the most emotional moments of his career. The crowd, filled with loyal followers who had supported him for decades, senses that something is different today. Gaither, once full of energy and command, appears slower, more contemplative. He takes the microphone in his hand and looks out across the sea of faces that have been touched by his music, his ministry, and his message. His usually bright and confident demeanor is now tempered by an undeniable weight of emotion, and for a moment, the audience falls into a hushed silence, waiting for him to speak. Today, Bill Gaither begins, his voice cracking slightly as he gathers his thoughts. "I stand before you not as the man I once was, but as a man who has lived a full life, grateful for every moment, every song, every one of you who have made this journey so special. It's with a heart full of love, and yes, a little bit of sorrow, that I announce today will mark the end of my active career with the Gaither vocal band." The audience holds its collective breath, gasps ripple through the crowd. No one was truly prepared for this moment, despite the subtle signs of change in Gaither's public life. For years, he had been the guiding light of the Gaither vocal band, the driving force behind the music that had become synonymous with gospel and inspiration. His powerful voice had shaped the sound of contemporary Christian music, and the thought of no longer hearing it in the same way seemed unimaginable. The atmosphere in the room feels heavy as the crowd waits for him to continue. "For more than 5 decades, this ministry has been my life," Gaither continues, his voice steadying though still full of emotion. "We've shared the stage, we've shared our hearts, and we've shared this message of hope and faith. You've all supported me, and together we've built something that I will forever hold dear." Gaither pauses, taking a moment to collect himself before adding, "But it's time for me to step aside. The time has come for the next generation to take over the work that we began together, and while this decision isn't an easy one, I have complete faith that the Gaither vocal band and this ministry will continue to thrive with the same passion, the same love, and the same message that has always been at its core." The crowd is silent for a long moment. Some of the longtime fans are on the edge of tears, their hearts breaking at the thought of this being the last time they will hear Bill Gaither lead the band on stage. Others, who have seen him as a pillar of the Christian music world, feel a mixture of sadness and deep respect for his decision to pass the torch. Gaither's eyes scan the crowd, and his voice grows stronger as he addresses his fans, his family, and the ministry that has meant so much to him. You've given me so much. Your love, your prayers, your support. They've all been a constant source of strength. And while I'm stepping back from the spotlight, I'm not leaving you behind. I'm passing the baton to those who have been by my side for years, learning, growing, and preparing for this moment. My son, John, will take over. He's been ready for this, and I know he has the heart and the vision to continue this ministry for years to come. John Gaither, who has been working closely with his father in recent years, steps forward as his father's words settle over the audience. A quiet murmur spreads through the crowd, some fans nodding in understanding, others unsure about what the future will hold under John's leadership. There's a sense of mixed emotions in the air, but also a glimmer of hope that the ministry will continue even as the face of the movement changes. I'll still be here, Gaither reassures the audience. Just because I'm retiring from performing doesn't mean I'm stepping away completely. I'll be in the background, offering guidance, support, and love as I've always done. But the time has come for a new era in the Gaither vocal band. And I trust each of you to support JN and the rest of the team in the same way you've supported me. Here's a collective sigh from the audience as Gaither finishes his speech. Fans rise to their feet in applause, a mixture of respect, gratitude, and sadness in their claps. For many, this announcement marks the end of an era in gospel music. Bill Gaither, the man who had inspired generations with his music, his words, and his presence, was stepping aside, but not without leaving behind a legacy that would endure. As the applause continues, Gaither takes a moment to gather his emotions. His family, including his wife Gloria Gaither, stands proudly by his side. Together they have spent years building this ministry, and now they are preparing for the next phase. The torch has been passed, but the influence of Bill Gaither, his teachings, and his music will remain a part of the Gaither vocal band's future. I may be retiring from the stage, Gaither says one last time, his voice steady and filled with conviction, but I will always be a part of this ministry, and so will all of you. This is not goodbye. It's just a new chapter, and I'm so thankful to have had each of you by my side. Thank you for being part of this incredible journey. With that, Bill Gaither steps back, allowing his son John to take the center stage. The crowd erupts into applause once more, acknowledging Bill's incredible legacy and the hope that his vision for the future of gospel music will continue. The curtain falls, and though Bill Gaither's physical presence may be stepping away from the stage, his legacy will live on forever in the hearts of his fans, his family, and the ministry he built. Family and fan reactions when Bill Gaither announced his retirement from performing and stepping away from the Gaither vocal band. The reactions from his family and fans were a blend of sadness, respect, and uncertainty. For decades, Bill had been a central figure in the world of gospel music. His presence on stage, his powerful voice, and his deep faith had influenced generations of fans. The announcement, while not entirely unexpected due to his age and declining health, still hit many people like a ton of bricks. His family, of course, was at the forefront of the emotional response. Gloria Gaither, Bill's wife and longtime partner in both life and ministry, stood by him during the announcement. She had shared so many of those years with Bill, traveling the world and building the ministry together. The idea of him stepping back was undoubtedly difficult, but Gloria's support was unwavering. For her, the moment was bittersweet. On one hand, she knew it was time for Bill to rest. His health, which had been slowly declining in recent years, had been a source of concern for both of them. She had seen the toll that decades of travel, performances, and ministry work had taken on him. But on the other hand, Gloria had witnessed the immense love and respect Bill received from fans, and she knew that this announcement would be difficult for many who had seen him as a spiritual leader and a voice of inspiration. John Gaither, Bill's son, stood by his father's side as the announcement was made. For years, John had been closely involved in the ministry, working behind the scenes and on stage with his father. He had been groomed to take over the ministry when the time came. But standing there in front of an emotional crowd, he realized the gravity of what it meant to step into his father's shoes. John had always admired his father, not just as a musician and a minister, but as a man of great integrity and compassion. The thought of leading the ministry that his father had built from the ground up was overwhelming. Still, John took the moment in stride, quietly confident that he was ready for the challenge. His eyes were filled with emotion, but he understood that this was not the end of the Gaither legacy. It was simply the passing of the torch to the next generation, and he was ready to carry it forward. For the fans who had spent years following Bill's ministry, the announcement stirred up a whirlwind of emotions. Many were heartbroken at the thought of not seeing Bill perform live anymore. To them, Bill Gaither was more than just a singer. He was a friend, a mentor, and a spiritual guide. His music had been a constant in their lives, a source of encouragement during both happy and difficult times. The news of his retirement left many fans feeling uncertain about the future of the ministry they had supported for so long. Some fans, while sad, were supportive. They understood that Bill had earned the right to rest. They had watched him pour his heart and soul into his work for decades, and now it was his time to step back. Many of these fans flooded social media with messages of gratitude and love, expressing how much Bill's music had impacted their lives. They shared stories of how his songs had comforted them during times of grief, encouraged them in moments of doubt, and helped them find joy in their faith. These fans felt deeply connected to Bill and his music, and while they would miss seeing him perform, they trusted that the ministry would continue with the same love and commitment that he had shown all these years. However, there were also fans who felt a sense of betrayal. They had followed Bill and the Gaither vocal band for years, believing in the message of hope and faith that they had shared. To many, Bill's retirement signified the end of an era. They wondered what the future would hold for the ministry, especially since Bill had been the driving force behind the band's success. Some fans expressed fear that the Gaither vocal band would lose its identity under new leadership. They had grown accustomed to Bill's presence, and the thought of the ministry continuing without him left them feeling unsure and anxious. For some, it was difficult to imagine the Gaither vocal band without the man who had been at the center of it all. The uncertainty was palpable in the messages they posted online, where some fans questioned whether the same level of passion and authenticity would continue under John's leadership. The response from the broader gospel music community was similarly mixed. Some colleagues and fellow musicians spoke out, praising Bill's legacy and expressing their support for his decision to retire. They acknowledged that Bill's contribution to gospel music was immeasurable and that his influence would continue to resonate for years to come. Others, however, were more skeptical, questioning whether the Gaither vocal band could continue to thrive without Bill at the helm. The idea of change, particularly in such an established and beloved ministry, was difficult for some to accept. Yet amidst the uncertainty, there was also a sense of hope, as many believed that John Gaither was more than capable of leading the ministry and continuing his father's work. They pointed to the years of preparation and experience that John had gained working alongside Bill, learning the ropes of ministry, music, and leadership. For these fans, the future of the Gaither vocal band was in capable hands, and they felt confident that the ministry would continue to grow and reach new heights as Bill Gaither stepped back from the stage. His fans rallied around him, supporting his decision and offering their prayers for his health and well-being. The outpouring of love from his followers was overwhelming, with messages flooding social media from people all over the world who had been touched by his music and ministry. Fans shared their memories of attending Gaither concerts, singing along to their favorite songs, and experiencing the joy that Bill's music had brought into their lives. While there was sadness at the thought of Bill retiring, there was also a deep sense of gratitude for the legacy he had built. The Gaither vocal band had touched millions of lives, and Bill Gaither's influence in the world of Christian music was undeniable. His retirement marked the end of an era, but it also signified the beginning of a new chapter for the ministry. The future, while uncertain, was still full of possibilities. Bill's retirement didn't erase the impact he had made. Instead, it created an opportunity for the next generation of leaders to step forward and carry the torch forward, just as Bill had done so many years ago. Fans, family, and the broader gospel music community were ready to embrace this new chapter with the same love and devotion that had defined Bill Gaither's career. The journey was far from over, and Bill's legacy would continue to inspire generations to come. What's next for Bill Gaither and his ministry? Bill Gaither's retirement has left many wondering about the future of his ministry and the Gaither vocal band. For decades, Bill has been at the forefront of Christian music, creating a legacy that has touched millions of lives. His powerful voice, dynamic performances, and deep faith have shaped the landscape of gospel music. However, as he steps back from the spotlight, the inevitable question arises: what's next for Bill Gaither and his ministry? One of the most significant factors in the future of the Gaither vocal band is the leadership transition. Bill's son, John Gaither, has been working alongside his father for many years, learning the ins and outs of both the ministry and the music industry. John has long been prepared to take on more responsibilities within the ministry, and many fans believe that he will be the one to carry the Gaither legacy forward. While John has big shoes to fill, he is no stranger to the stage or the spotlight. He has performed with the Gaither vocal band and has been involved in the planning and direction of the group for years. For John, stepping into his father's role isn't just about carrying on the family name. It's about continuing the mission that Bill Gaither has dedicated his life to. The transition won't be easy, of course. Bill Gaither's name has become synonymous with gospel music, and his personal touch is what has made the ministry so successful. Fans have grown accustomed to his unique blend of warmth, passion, and spirituality. For many, Bill is not just a performer but a spiritual guide who has shaped their understanding of faith and music. However, the future of the Gaither vocal band may also be a new beginning. John Gaither brings his own voice, perspective, and creativity to the table, which could infuse the ministry with fresh energy and new ideas. It's possible that John will continue with the band, honoring his father's legacy while introducing his own style to the mix. The fans who have been with the Gaither vocal band for decades are likely to support John's leadership, recognizing that the ministry is evolving but staying true to its roots. In addition to the leadership change, there's also the question of how Bill Gaither's ministry will evolve in the modern world. The digital age has brought about significant changes in how music is consumed, and Christian music is no exception. While Bill's music has always been a mainstay in churches, concerts, and television broadcasts, there's no denying that streaming platforms and social media have revolutionized the music industry. Bill Gaither's ministry may need to adapt to these new mediums to continue reaching the next generation of listeners. This might involve a stronger online presence, live-streamed concerts, and increased interaction with fans through social media platforms. Another possibility is that Bill Gaither may take on a more behind-the-scenes role. While he may no longer be performing on stages often, it's possible that he will remain active in the ministry, offering guidance, wisdom, and mentorship to the next generation of musicians and leaders. Bill has always been committed to spreading the message of faith through music, and even though his physical presence may be reduced, his influence can still shape the ministry. This could be a time for Bill to focus on the aspects of ministry that he's most passionate about, such as writing, speaking, and mentoring other artists. He might also become more involved in charitable work and outreach, using his platform to serve others in ways that don't necessarily involve public performances. Despite the inevitable changes, the core values of the Gaither ministry are unlikely to change. For years, the Gaither vocal band has been known for its focus on faith, family, and music. These values have made Bill Gaither's ministry stand out in the Christian music world, and it's likely that they will continue to guide the band's mission. John Gaither, who has grown up with these principles, is sure to uphold them as he leads the ministry into the future. Additionally, the Gaither vocal band has always been known for its tight-knit community of singers, musicians, and fans. Even with leadership changes, the sense of unity and family within the ministry will likely remain a central theme. One important aspect of Bill Gaither's ministry that will likely continue is the Gaither Homecoming series. These recordings have been a significant part of Bill's career, bringing together gospel music's best voices for live performances and heartfelt moments. It's possible that the homecoming concerts will continue, with John and other family members taking more prominent roles. The Gaither Homecoming brand has become a beloved part of the Christian music world, and it could serve as a foundation for the future of the ministry. With Bill's guidance, the homecoming concerts could evolve to reach new audiences while maintaining the traditions that have made them so special. As Bill Gaither's ministry looks to the future, there will be challenges, but there will also be opportunities for growth and renewal. His retirement marks the end of an era, but it also signals the beginning of a new chapter. The question of whether the Gaither vocal band will continue in its current form or evolve into something different remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Bill Gaither's legacy will continue to inspire and impact the world for many years to come. Fans will no doubt continue to celebrate Bill Gaither's incredible contributions to gospel music while also embracing the future of the ministry under John's leadership. The Gaither vocal band's influence will remain strong, and it will continue to uplift and inspire people of all ages with its powerful message of faith and love. What's next for Bill Gaither and his ministry is an exciting question, but it's clear that the foundation he built will serve as a solid base for whatever comes next. The Gaither legacy is far from over, and with a new generation stepping in, it has the potential to thrive and reach even more people around the world.